Hey, Ken Horst here, your weight loss wingman. In this video, we're going to answer the question, is fiber the secret to better health, weight loss, and energy? You may have seen Fibermaxxing taking over TikTok or other social media channels recently, but does it really work? Well, that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to break that down. So what is fibermaxing? Well, fibermaxing is intentionally boosting fiber intake from whole foods, foods that are rich in fiber. The goal in fibermaxing, or just in managing your fiber intake, is to meet or exceed 25 to 35 grams of dietary fiber a day. Now, this could be done through foods like beans, veggies, fruits, seeds, and whole grains, as well as others, but this is a good start, if you will. Now, here's where the problem comes in. The average US adult is getting about 15 to 16 grams of fiber a day, which lends itself to all kinds of health problems. And what's recommended for men and women in the United States is about 25 grams of fiber a day for women and somewhere between 31 and 34 grams a day for men. So you can see there's a huge opportunity here, a big gap between how much fiber Americans are actually consuming and how much fiber it's recommended that we consume in order for, gut health, weight management, and a number of other things that you'll see. So why does fiber matter? Why should we care? Well, there's a number of things that fiber does for us, and starting with it supports a healthy gut microbiome. So fiber is critical for your gut health. Without it, it's really hard for the good biome in your gut to flourish. And so they do need things like fiber to, make a perfect environment for them. Fiber is known to lower LDL cholesterol. So if you or anybody you know is worried about their cholesterol or got their doctor telling them, to lower their cholesterol, fiber is a good way to help with that process. Fiber also helps balance blood sugar, which is important for a lot of people, especially people that are pre-diabetic or moving toward diabetes. Again, fiber is really important for helping manage blood sugar. It also improves satiety and weight control, which means you are fuller when you eat foods that have a lot of fiber in them. And then finally, it actually reduces the risk of colon cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. So you can see fiber does matter and it's really important. And if you're only getting 15 grams a day or thereabouts, it really is time for you to start thinking about fibermaxing. Now, here are some best sources of fiber. There's lots of them, but this is a good list. Legumes, lentils, beans, chickpeas, whole grains, fruits, veggies, and seeds and nuts. All of these are good sources of fiber, and they're things that you should try to mix throughout your day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner or snacks. There's just a lot of different ways you can incorporate these foods into your diet, but any way you can do it is a good way because, again, more fiber is better, especially if you're on the low side right now today. Now, there's also something to consider, which is soluble versus insoluble fiber. And for the record, soluble fiber dissolves in water. It actually is the one that lowers cholesterol, stabilizes blood sugar, and feeds gut bacteria. Food examples for soluble fiber are oats, beans, apples, chia seeds, and psyllium husks, as well as citrus fruits. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water. And this is a type of fiber that prevents constipation and promotes regularity. Now, sources of insoluble fiber include wheat bran, brown rice, nuts, veggies, and potatoes with the skin on. Now, I threw this slide in because as it says, chia seeds deserve a spot on your fibermaxing program. Chia seeds are an incredible source of fiber, as you can see from this slide. It says nutritional powerhouse. So just 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, roughly 28 grams, will provide you with 11 grams of fiber, 4 grams of protein, and 5 grams of omega-3s of the ALA brand. And they're rich in calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, and manganese. Now, some of the top health benefits from just, chia seeds are they support gut health, regularity, heart healthy, lowers LDL and boosts HDL, stabilizes blood sugar. Again, these are things for all fiber, but I mean, chia seeds really pack a whole lot of this into a very small package. bone strengthening, more calcium than milk, which nobody knew that one. So again, if you're worried about calcium, chia seeds are a good food for you to consider. And then they're high in antioxidants and they fight inflammation. So when and how should you add fiber to your diet? Well, you can start with oats or bran in your cereal at breakfast. You could then maybe add beans, veggies to lunch or dinner. If you can snack on fruits, apples are a great source, or here's that word again, chia pudding. And you can also include soluble fiber supplements roughly 15 to 30 minutes before meals. One nice thing about doing this is you'll go into that meal a little bit more full, so you probably won't eat as much. So there's a double benefit there from taking soluble fiber supplements 15 to 30 minutes before your meals. Now, 3 ways that I take or add fiber to my diet, which I've been doing for quite a long time, is I start every day with a protein bar that includes 21 grams of protein and 10 grams of fiber. And I take that and black coffee, and that's me every morning. I also add psyllium husk supplement, 2 to 3 servings a day, which brings me to about 10 to 15 grams of just pure soluble fiber. And then I have a smoothie that I make 2 to 3 times a week with 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, which is the equivalent of about 15 grams of fiber. And there's a lot of other things in that smoothie that I'll share with you in another video. But again, these are 3 ways that I get fiber into my diet. Today, it's roughly 4 o'clock where I am, and I've already had 44 grams of fiber in my diet. So I'm fiber maxing to the max, if you will. Now, here are some things you want to watch out to when you're fiber maxing or adding fiber to your diet. You want to increase fiber gradually, especially if you haven't been paying attention to your fiber. You don't want to just jump in and add 20 or 30 grams of fiber today because it might cause gas or bloating. When you increase your fiber intake, you should also increase your water intake. So be drinking more water when you're eating more fiber, and both of those are very healthy together and individually. Supplements are okay, but they're not a substitute for real food. You're really better off getting your fiber from real food, but supplements are okay as a way to just make sure that you get to the right number and you don't come up short on your fiber in a day. If you are taking fiber supplements, one thing to keep in mind is you do not want to take a fiber supplement within 1 to 2 hours of prescription medications because the soluble fiber forms a gel-like substance which will actually bind or could bind with some of the different medications you're taking and actually just run those right out your body without them having had a chance to be digested and dispersed into your body as they normally would. Also, if you're going to start a fiber maxing program, you should consult with your doctor if you have IBS or SIBO issues. And finally, final thoughts on this. So fiber maxing isn't just a trend, it's actually a smart strategy. I have learned about fiber and the importance of it over 30 years due to a friend of mine who had a health issue that was related to fiber. And fiber equals better digestion, better weight control, and better health span. So 3 good reasons to consider fiber. And finally, start slow, eat whole foods, hydrate, and really try to stay consistent with like anything else you're doing as part of your health and fitness program. So there you go. Fiber maxing is real. It's something that you should seriously consider, especially if you're not getting enough fiber in your diet today. And hopefully you enjoyed this video, you got some good information, and you're going to start adding some fiber to your diet. And if you did like this video, please like and subscribe below. Feel free to comment below and just let me know what you think, and we'll be sure to hopefully see you on our next video. Thanks, and have a great day.